All right, Harmony Science Academy Honors Geometry students, day 329. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're still sticking with the topic of trigonometry. Specifically, we're going to find missing sides or side, okay? You guys are going to not have necessarily a vocabulary word, but you'll have a concept, okay? So we can pause the video and you guys can look up this term, okay, or this phrase, how to find missing side in trigonometry, and kind of have fun with that, see what you can find, okay? All right. So the cool thing is because we've already spent time introducing ourselves to trigonometry, we know stuff, okay? Four things, right? We know the different trigonometric identities, sine, cosine, and tangent. So that's one, okay? We know the theta, which is the angle, that's 2. And then we have side 1 and side 2, okay? So we can call that 3 and 4, okay? So again, we know trig, we've seen this setup, and it really requires 4 things: trig, angle, a side, and another side, okay? There's other information, but these are critical, okay? So what's going to happen now is before we were given actually the trig, the reference angle, okay, not the actual value, but a reference like A, B, or C, right? And then we just decided out of the information, pull out 2 sides. Now, okay, we're not gonna have the trig, so that's gonna be left blank. Okay, we are gonna be given this, and we're gonna be given something like, um, I guess essentially we're gonna be given this. Okay, but one of these is, since we need to, remember the name of this lesson is finding the missing side, so one of these will be x. Okay, so once we plug stuff in, we can solve for x. Okay, the cool thing is we're gonna use a calculator on this, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, now I'll just pick a random problem. This one looks good, number 6. Okay, so look how easy this is as long as you go slow. Okay, so based on the information I'm given, here's theta, right? There's theta, and I have 2 sides given, which is good. Notice that, right? Find the missing side, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, I don't have the trig. Okay, so check this out. Based off of what I know, okay, I'm going to stick to the same rule. I'm going to identify the hypotenuse. Okay, here's theta, so here's opposite. All right, O with a line underneath it. So that makes this adjacent. Okay, so that's how you want to set all of them up so you don't make silly mistakes. And when it's your turn to present, you're nice and organized. Okay, so based on this, right, on this theta, I have adjacent and hypotenuse. So we can pause the video here and ask yourself, who's that? Which trig identity is that? Okay, so if you said cosine, good. Okay, cosine of theta. Now here, well, let's go ahead and just write it the way we know, right? Cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, I can fill it in. Okay, so I've got cosine. Okay, theta is 52 degrees, and that equals adjacent, which is 14, over hypotenuse, which is x. Okay, all right, so this actually is a cool one, just because solving for x is going to take 2 steps instead of just 1. Okay, so that's it. I've taken the information and I've set it up here. Now we got to go calculator, but we need to set it up so that we've solved for x. Okay, so let me do that work here. Okay, so what do I need to do here? X is on the bottom, so I'm going to multiply. Okay, both sides by x. Okay, so then again, I've already set it up, and now I want to solve for x, which means get x by itself. Okay, so now I have x cosine of 52, okay, equals 14. I want x by itself, so we can pause the video here and ask yourself, what do you do? Okay. If you were thinking divide both sides by cosine 52, good. Okay. Whoops. So it cancels on this side, and I have x equals 14 over cosine 52. Okay? All right. So this is going to now require me to use a calculator. So we'll put x as approximately, okay, since we're going to be approximating. So let's go to the calculator, okay? This is important. Now notice that it says degree here, okay, which is what you want. Why? Because we're given degrees, okay, I think in all cases. Some of your calculators may not be in degree mode. So let's go ahead and talk about what you do, okay? So you hit dock, and even if you're on degree mode right now, just go through this so you can practice it, because you never know what calculator you'll get the next day. So you go 7 and 2, and here, when you click it, we get the option radian, okay, which is pi, for example, but we do want it in degree, so I'll select D. I'll go make it default, okay, and this will make it default on all of every time I open this calculator, so hopefully they can stick like this, okay. All right, so if I go to a scratch pad, I'm looking up here, is it in degree, okay. All right, so what we got last, let's take a look. It's 14 divided by cosine of 52. Okay. 14 divided by, okay, here you have this trig button, okay. When you press it, you've got your trigonometric identity. Some other stuff we'll talk about later, but for right now we said it was cosine of 52, right? When I put in the 52, it knows it's in degrees, so I can hit enter, okay, and I get this expression, okay. Now you might not know what to do here. Here's a simple thing, okay. Go ahead and hit control, and here where it says enter, you by hitting control we actually get this equivalent sign, okay. So you hit enter and we get 22.7. If this was a 5 or more, we'd go up to 22.8, but right now it's 22.7, okay. All right, and that's it. That is the missing side, which is right here, okay. So I'm going to leave it at that to keep the video short. We'll try some in class, answer some questions if some people get lost, but for the most part, we've got everything we need right here in this video, okay? All right, guys, catch you in class.